Hey y'all, it's Jamie. Welcome back to my channel, Cottage Hodgepodge, where I share with you my sales on my vintage store on eBay. I find my items at estate sales, garage sales, estate auctions, flea markets, yard sales, wherever I can find quality vintage items or sometimes modern items that are resellable on my store on eBay. This is my sales for the week of November 7th through 14th. My total sales were $432.44, and my cost of goods sold was $15.97. So first up is this lot of seven, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, seven tiny little, I guess, salt and pepper shakers, but it's a lot of seven. That's how I found them, and I don't know if they're maybe would be used in a restaurant or why you would have seven of them, but that's what I found and that's how I listed them, and they sold that way. So my description is vintage cherry blossom salt and pepper shaker, peach lusterware, 1.5 inches, hand painted, Japan. So the lusterware from Japan is really popular, and obviously normally you find a set of two salt and pepper shakers, but these were really pretty, and I felt like somebody might be looking for them, and that worked out. They've got little raised paintings on them where somebody hand painted these little cherry blossoms. So those sold for $12.80. I paid $3 for the lot. I found them at an estate sale. They were marked $6, but it was half off day. So I got them for $3 and sold them for $12.80. Next is a book that I had sitting around for a while. I don't know why. Sometimes when you buy things, or when I buy things, I get less excited after I've bought it. And this was one of those things. I just wasn't sure if it was really worth selling, and I should have just listed it when I bought it, but I let it sit for a while. I got this at an estate auction. I paid $3 for a lot of Dick and Jane items, and this was one of, I don't know, maybe 6 items in the lot. So this is a treasury of Dick and Jane and Friends. It's a collection of Dick and Jane stories. I bought this in the estate auction where there were 2 sisters whose houses were both in estate auctions on separate weeks, back to back, and they traveled a lot. I think what we can tell from going through the items that we purchased is that they traveled and taught English because they were school teachers. We bought a lot of school teacher items and a lot of travel items, and this was a book that had actually never been opened. So it had, you can see the shipping label on the back, although I doubt that it shipped in just that plastic bag, but it had never been opened. So I didn't open it to take the pictures. I just photographed it with the poly bag on it. And this sold for $12.80, and my cost of goods was just under $1 for that. Okay, next is a collection of 3 items that somebody purchased. It's 3, oh, that guy's backward. 3 of the Firefighter ornaments from the lot of ornaments that I bought at an estate sale here locally. There were around 200 items when I got them home and went all through them, and my cost ended up being about 38 cents per ornament. Once I went through everything and got rid of broken ones and things that wouldn't sell, or lotted up some that wouldn't sell on their own. So this one and the next 2 items, one person purchased all of them and combined shipping, which is a great way to buy on eBay. So this one is Gilmore and Nesco Merry Christmas ornament, vintage red fire alarm box mouse from 1995. This was one of the cutest ones in the whole lot. I was really thankful that this one sold. I figured it would sell faster. I guess this is the front, even though the little Firefighter mouse is facing backward. It says North Pole Fire Department on the front of the little firebox. And next one that went with it was this ornament, this Dalmatian vintage Firefighter ornament, Dalmatian puppy on fireman's hat, fire department 1, and red is another keyword that I used. So I always try to get like firefighter and fireman in the description if I can, or at least in the full length description down below. so that if people are searching firefighter or fireman, hopefully all of my ornaments pop up. And definitely if there's a Dalmatian included, I always include that in my keyword, or a hat. Whatever is there, you want to put in your description to try to get your item to show up when people search for, if they're, especially, you know, this time of year when they're looking for specific styles for gifts for people. And the last one from that sale is this Luster Fame Enesco Merry Christmas Ornament Vintage Firefighter Extinguisher Mouse 1993. So this one also sold for $18.80. So my total sale on that one, I think I have it back here, was $37.50 for those 3 ornaments. And my cost was just over $1 for the 3. So that's pretty good. Next is a Chinese wooden abacus arithmetic calculating tool. Chinese traditional computing is what we had for our description. This is one actually that my husband picked up at an estate auction. I think it might have been the same auction where I got all those school teacher items from, and a lot of Chinese items in those lots. I think he bought a couple lots in that auction as well. Oops. And that one sold for $6. Actually, on this one, we almost made a mistake, because if things are under £1, we list them for $4.99 shipping. And generally, that's right about what it costs us. It's between, I think, $4.38 to $5.23, I think, is the range, depending on exactly how much it weighs under the pound. Like all those ornaments, I charge $4.99 shipping. I usually end up making under $1 on the shipping, but it's nice because then that pays for some of the box and packaging materials. And occasionally we end up losing a little bit of money on the shipping, but all in all, it comes out about even. Well, on this one, even though it was under £1, by the time we got it packaged up, it was going to be over £1. So we had to get really creative, and we finally got it in a nice padded envelope. And I was nervous because we get a lot of good feedback saying that we package things really well and our shipping is quick. And those are I think the things that really help us stand out in our listings and our we come to the top on the algorithm, on the eBay algorithm. And so I always want to make sure that we always package things well. And so I was a little bit nervous about this one, but we immediately got positive feedback saying that it arrived nicely and that it was in good condition. So that was a lesson learned, though. We've got to make sure we always consider how much things are going to weigh after they're packaged when we do our shipping costs. For anything over £1, we use calculated shipping, and we learned that later also. We didn't start out that way either, but that is working out really well for us now, doing the calculated shipping whenever we sell anything that's over £1. Except clothing. Clothing, we still have a standard flat rate, because we can use the flat rate envelopes that are like $8.23 or 8 something. I don't think 23 is the right number, but we charge $8.99 flat rate shipping for clothing that's over £1, and $4.99 flat rate shipping for clothing that's under £1. So the next item that sold is this Life is Good athleisure swing skirt roll top yoga soft women's size small. And it was a really pretty print. Is this teal color with the green floral on top, and says Life is Good here on the waistband. And this one I actually thought would sell faster than it did. I had it listed for quite a while, but the person who bought it paid full price, $18.80, and she left me feedback saying that it was a great skirt and that it was going to be great for her beach vacation. So I guess even though it's not casual skirt summery season for these clothing, you never know what people are looking for. They might be traveling somewhere that's unseasonably warm or unseasonably cold. People sell jackets in the middle of the summer too. So whatever you find, go ahead and list it. Don't hold it for what you think is the right season. Next is another ornament, Firefighter wood nutcracker Christmas ornament, 4 inches tall, mouth opens, and it has number 1 on his hat. That one sold for $10. That was an offer I accepted. And again, my cost on those is 38 cents. Next is another order where somebody lotted up 2 of my items. these custard cups sold for $12.80. I had said on the last video that this lot of the Fire King Sapphire Blue Depression glass is selling well for me. This is the second and third item I sold of these, and I've only had everything listed for just a couple weeks. So these are a great item to be on the lookout for, especially I think if you can sell it in lots like this. So this was a set of 4 of the custard cups, and my cost was under $1 for all 4 of them. I got about around 30, maybe a little less items, a lot of them small like this, but then some of them larger in a lot at an estate auction for $8. So my cost of goods is really good on these things. So that's $12.80 for this item. And then in the same sale, oops, I got those out of order. In the same sale, let me make sure this is right. Yeah. They look the same, but they're not quite. This is another set of custard cups, another set of 4. These are 5 ounces and 3.5 inches. And then these are 4 inches. Oh, I guess these would maybe be berry bowls. I was just looking at comps on them and for what I used for my descriptions. So not sure exactly what those are considered. Next up is one of my best sells ever. So I've got some footage of I think it's an 80-mile yard sale flea market weekend we went to this past weekend in northern Louisiana. We have family property there, and they have this sale called Main to Main every year. It's from Spring Hill, Louisiana to, it goes south of Minden. I can't remember the final town in the south, but it's all up LA 371, and we always have fun. We love going to this. We've been going for years. And this particular item, I picked it up. I didn't know exactly what it was. My first thought was a flower frog of some sort, but then when I started looking at it, I was like, there's no way it can be a flower frog because it's solid on the bottom. And then I started thinking a candle holder, and that's exactly what it is. So when I got it home and looked it up, I found out it is vintage McCarty pottery, which I think is from Mississippi. This one is 9 inches, drifting surf, 5-pipe candle plate, mid-century modern. I put in my description and signed, and I put it as an excellent used condition. I don't think it's ever been used. There was no wax residue or anything on it. So I picked it up at this sale. My mom was actually with us, and I said to her, I have no idea what this is, but it looks really cool to me. And so I asked the lady if she knew what it was. She didn't know what it was. And I asked her how much she wanted, and she said, how about $1? So I said sold because I thought it was really cool and might be worth something. But regardless, I just thought it was unique and interesting. When I got it home and researched it, it was worth something. I listed it for $178.80, and it sold within 24 hours of me listing it, maybe even less. I couldn't believe it. It was very exciting when I got the little cha-ching on my phone and saw that this item had sold. So to date, that is my best sell as far as what it cost me and what I sold it for. In fact, I think it might be, oh no, it's not my highest sales price. My highest sales price was that helmet, that vintage leather police helmet that we thought, same thing. We didn't know what it was when we bought it. We thought it was a horse riding helmet, paid $2.50 for it and sold it for over $200. So those are some things, keep your eye out. If something looks cool to you, pick it up if you can't look it up. If you can look it up, definitely do. Okay, next are some Isaac Mizrahi pumps, but these are the Target, Isaac Mizrahi for Target brand. They're not the super expensive ones, but I found them at a thrift store, and I thought that they would maybe be worth something, and they're really cute and in great condition, so I went ahead and grabbed them. I paid $3 for them, and I only sold them for $20.52, but it's still some profit made, so I'm okay with that. My description is Isaac Mizrahi dark brown croc embossed leather round toe pumps, heels size 8. And again, they're in pretty good shape. They've obviously been worn, but no damage to the top or anything. So they were really cute. Next is this Homer Laughlin golden wheat dinner plates, 22 karat gold trim, 9 inches, made in the USA, lot of 8. So these also I got in a vintage lot at an estate auction. They actually came with the Fire King blue depression glass that I've been doing so well with. These were along with it in that lot. So, I mean, I would almost consider my cost of goods nothing on these because I really bought that lot for the blue depression glass. But these were a nice little bonus. They sold for $18.80 for the lot of 8 plates. And my cost was well under $1 for those. Okay, next is a 1904 Indian Head Scent Philadelphia Mint circulated uncertified cardboard holder. That's our description for this coin. My husband collects coins and has decided to sell a few of his duplicates or ones that he just doesn't really want to keep himself. So he listed this one for $2.50 and sold it under the eBay standard envelope shipping rate. So that's really helped us to sell some of the coins once we found out about that, because it's cheap for us and cheap for the buyer. It's $1.53 for the 3-ounce size. It's even less expensive the lighter weight the items are. There's a 1-ounce, 2-ounce, and 3-ounce size, or weight, not really size. So that sold for $2.50 and really no cost in it because it's something that we just had here at the house. And the last item for this week is this really gorgeous handkerchief. I don't feel like I was able to get pictures to show how pretty this was and the great detail. It was gray in color originally. You know, that wasn't it wasn't off color or anything, or more like a silver. It was like a silver in color, and it was so pretty, but the pictures just really don't do it justice. So I'm glad it did sell. I'm glad somebody could see, you know, the potential there. It was matted on velvet inside this frame, and it sold for $43.92. I couldn't find any comps really that were quite like this, so I just had to guess at a price, and I actually had it listed for quite a bit more when I first listed it, but it wasn't selling, so I dropped the price down to $48.80, and then I had a sale going 10% off, and it sold for $43.92. And that item cost me 75 cents as part of an estate auction lot. So that's it for this week. My total sales again were $432.44. Thanks a lot to that flower or that candle holder. And my cost of goods was $15.97. In the end, my take-home profit will be around $300 after you consider eBay fees and setting aside money for income tax and things like that. So my weekly sales are continuing to go up during this fourth quarter. Hopefully they'll continue to do that. Last week was a little bit down, but we're back on track for increasing each week now. So hopefully that will continue. And I will be back next week with another video for you. If you enjoy this type of content, I'd love it if you would give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much.